Visiting my channel, the Queen Phoenix. Today's pattern is the Starburst Granny Square. It's an extremely beautiful pattern. This is how it looks at the back. The best part about these granny squares is that they can be made with little bits of wool that you have left over from previous projects. You do not have to go buy other yarn. So for this, you will require the colors of your choice, a crochet hook, a darning needle, and a pair of scissors. The darning needle is optional. You can use a smaller crochet hook to weave in your ends. So let's get into it. So for the center of this one, I am going to use some red, and you're going to make a slip knot and chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do and slip stitch into the very first chain to form a ring. Please be advised, I do have basics that will teach you how to crochet if you do not know how to on my channel. You're gonna row 1, chain 3. This counts as your first double crochet. Now you need to make 15 more double crochets into your ring. Into the center of your ring, make 15 double crochets. At the end of this row, you will have 16 double crochets, including your chain 3. You're going to slip stitch into your chain 3. The third chain from the bottom, chain 1, and cut your yarn long enough so that you can darn it back in or work it back in. Right. Now you're going to change to color number 2, and I am going to use some white. The only thing I'm doing, I'm making a slip knot here. You can go into any of these stitches. I'll go into that one. And I'm going to pull this loop through. And now we're going to do row 2. Chain 3. Now we're going to work a puff stitch. So you're going to go 3 times into the same stitch until you have 7 loops on your hook. So let's do that. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, 3 loops. Yarn over, go into the same stitch, pull up a loop, 5 loops. Yarn over, go back into the same one, 7 loops. So this is where you'll be able to count them. It's 1, let me just get another needle to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pull up your loop, yarn over, and you might have to wiggle it a bit to go through all of your loops. Chain 1. And you're going to repeat that same puff stitch in each stitch right around until you get back right here. But let's do another one. Yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop. Yarn over into the same stitch, pull up a loop. That's 5 loops. Yarn over, go back in, pull up a loop. That's 7 loops. Yarn over and pull through all loops, chain 1. Let's do the next one. Continue in that same pattern right around, and I'll get you right back here. Once you are done making your 16 puff stitches, you would have chained 1, and you're going to slip stitch. Let me get this closer to the camera. Right on the top of your very first puff stitch, chain 1, leave a long enough tail so that you are able to work it in. That's where we are now. You are now going to join with your third color, and I am going to use gray for a change. I'm just gonna make a quick slip stitch here, and again you're going to insert it in between any of these cluster stitches in the chain 1 spaces, and you're gonna pull up a loop. You're gonna chain 3, and you're gonna make a cluster stitch. So let me show you how to make your very first cluster stitch. So yarn over, go into your chain 1 space, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. You will be left with 2 loops on your hook. You're going to repeat that, yarn over, go into the exact same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2 loops. You're left with 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go into your same space, pull it up again the loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. You have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go back in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. You have 5 loops now on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 5 loops. You will then chain 2. This is your very first cluster stitch. For the second cluster, we're going to do the exact same thing. It's most important that you always have 5 loops left on your hook. So let's do the next one. Same like how I did the first one. That's 3 loops, 4 loops, 5 loops, yarn over, go through all of them, chain 2, and again, don't forget you can always slow down this video, pause this video. If you want to slow it down, please you do that from the settings of this video. You will continue to make chain 2 and 1 cluster stitch right around, and I'll get you back right here. Once you are done making all your cluster stitches, you are gonna and chain 2, you will join it, slip stitch into the very top of your cluster stitch. Chain 1, leave a long enough tail to work in. So this is the circle part all done. Now we're gonna move on to the square part, and I'll be using this yellow, and I'm just gonna make again a slip stitch, and you can join it anywhere again. Just pull it through. Right, now for the square part, and this is row 4 and your last row. You're gonna make 4 chain. This 4 chain counts as your very first treble, and we are gonna start working on a corner. You're gonna make 2 trebles into the exact same space, followed by 3 chain and 3 more trebles into the exact same 2 chain space. It's a bit tight in there, but we'll get them all in. Into the next stitch, you're going to make 3 double crochets. Into the next stitch, you're going to make 3 half a double crochet. So 3 half double crochets. In the next stitch, you will make 3 double crochets. And we're going to work a corner again. So for your corner, it's 3 trebles, three chain, just working that tail in at the same time. So I've got my 3 chain, and 3 more trebles into the same space. Into your next stitch, we're going to do exactly what we did here, which was 3 double crochets, into the next 2 chain space, 2 half a double crochets, and into your next 2 chain space, 3 double crochets. And you're going to continue that until you get to the end of your work. So you'll get a corner here, 3 double crochets, 3 half double crochets, 3 double crochets, and a corner, and I will meet you right back here. When you get to the end, please slip stitch into the 4th chain, chain 1, and cut your yarn. You are done now. This is the end product. Here you go. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, if you tried this, please tag me in the video so that I can see what you're up to. Thank you and have a wonderful day.